Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Nick Davenport, aka Mr. Mental Muscle, and today is Mental Muscle Monday. Now, I'm just getting back in town. I went across the state. I'm from South Florida, Deerfield Beach to be exact, and I went over across to Clearwater, Florida, which is on the West Coast. So I did some things out there, shot some content, even went to the Tampa Bay Rays game. That was a blast. But on the way back, there was a lot of traffic. It's usually a 3.5 hour drive for me, but it turned to a 5.5 hour drive between bumper to bumper rush hour traffic to even a very bad accident. Now, the point of this is you need to stay in your lane. Yes, stay in your lane, but not in the sense you probably know it as. Usually when people say stay in your lane, they're talking about stay what you know and don't deviate from that because you might overstep your boundaries and what you know, your knowledge base, or even what other people are trying to do. So stay in your lane. But that's not what we mean here. I'm talking about literally stay in your lane because what you're doing, whatever is goal, endeavor, whatever success you're trying to get, is going to be there. Because a lot of times, just like traffic, people weave in and out, they try to pass you, and they get caught in the other lane and have to slow back down, and they end up back behind you anyway. Now, I'm not trying to be so on the nose with this analogy, but the thing I notice is, and you bring it up even to just cars, how they work, it doesn't make sense. Because if you're on a goal, there's going to be times where it seems like you're not moving. But speed is relative, right? Because typically on the highway, you're going between 70 to 90 miles per hour. It doesn't really feel like that when you're in the car, right? But you're going extremely fast, and those are high dangerous speeds. So you don't want to take it lightly. Like even with a plane, for example, when you're in a plane, it doesn't feel like you're going that fast, but planes can go up to 500 miles per hour on commercial flights. So when you think about it, it's all relative to where you're sitting, but guess what? You're still moving. Now, this illusion of if I switch lanes to go forward, I'm passing this car, so therefore I'm going more than them may not be the best idea because think about how cars work. You accelerate, decelerate, brake, slow down. It takes more gas to get back up. So your engine has to work harder to maintain speed because you're still trying to go 70 to 90 miles per hour. It's just like your goals. You're still trying to get to that outcome no matter what you do. But the more you change and say, oh, this isn't working, you deviate from that path and go to another one and say, oh, this isn't working, you try it again, and you go back and forth, you're losing ground. Now, relatively speaking, you're still going to the same direction, but it's going to take longer, or it might even deviate you completely and you're not going to get to your goal because it's illusion of things getting stagnant. So I always use a likeness to something like vision. People always say, I have a vision, I can see ahead. So there's hindsight, there's insight, and there's foresight. So think of like an eye chart, right? You ever been to the doctor or the eye doctor and you had to do the chart with the E's and the G's and the letters and numbers that they get smaller as you go lower? So this eye chart is to see how acute your vision is and how clearly you can see. That's kind of how our endeavors are. A lot of people have hindsight. That's probably the clearest because it's already taken place. It's already happened. So you can say, oh, I would have did this or I could have did that. But it doesn't matter because the past, you cannot change it. But at least you can take that knowledge and move forward. And I think the second clearest vision is foresight, seeing ahead. We get zealous in our endeavors, our goals, and say, I want to do this or I want to do that. And if everything just goes according to plan, I'll get there at this time, this date. But once again, we can't control the future just like we can't control the past. And then we end up overstepping or missing our target goal. Now, insight. The thing with insight is usually the blurriest. I always say people are legally blind when it comes to insight because it's happening in real time. We can't always see the things that's going on around us. Our peripheral is not as clear. So we make impulsive decisions or decisions that may not be the best, but this is where we have the most control because this is the here, this is the now. So you got to use your insight within that moment to see the goal, see the process. Remember, goals, outcomes is one part of it. There's also process goals. This is what you do day to day, week to week, minute to minute even, so you can get to the bigger picture. So going back to analogy, changing lanes all the time, how can you get to the bigger picture? You're always switching where you're trying to go to, speeding up, slowing down without consistently following through on what you need to do. So the next time that you feel like your goals aren't progressing like they should, or your process is not consistent, think about this analogy. Switching lanes may not be the best idea. Stay on that road because just like I said, with that foresight to see what's ahead, you know if there's oncoming obstructions, traffic, so you can yield and slow down or speed up depending on that to make the right choice. Because with that insight in the moment, you can see truly what you need to do. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, get your mind right.